They're gonna let us know when they're on.
What's that?
They're gonna let us know when they're on.
Okay. Sorry, guys. This is very nice of you. It's more than I would do, you know. She's a good chair. Sure. So they can't hear me now? They can't hear me now? I mean, we can hear me, you know, but,
We can hear you.
but can they hear me?
The big they.
The big
They
they.
might be able to hear you in a minute.
Okay. I haven't said anything bad yet, though. Yes. Nice uniform. It's cool.
Thank you.
3 stars. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thing.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
No, it's fine. I don't feel any way about it. It's been a short hearing.
I didn't get to know if you trust.
Oh, yeah. I think you're good. I'm sure you're an honest broker.
So a sanitation worker, a firefighter, and a cop walk into a bar, okay? No, I'm really pushing it here, you know. I'll tell you the punchline later once we're done, you know. It worked out for the sanitation worker, okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they gotta. Spin it back up. I forgot which one is Jim. Oh, okay. I don't need to gavel, right? No. Okay, okay. Okay, so thanks for staying an additional 5 to 10 minutes. I want to recognize Councilmember Jim Gennaro to say any remarks about your bill and if you have any questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really appreciate this. I had a doctor appointment. I'm late. I'm holding you folks up. I'm holding everybody up, but I really appreciate this opportunity. My bill is Intro 238, which by now you've probably already testified on. And I won't take up too much time, like the thrust of the bill. Going back to 1989, which I was in city government for, when we passed the city's recycling law, it mandated weekly collection of recyclables. And my reading of the law, although I'm not an attorney, was that there was no exceptions to the weekly collection. Like weekly collection meant weekly collection. So, and that has never really been the case when it comes to holidays. And I wanted to, tighten that up, notwithstanding all the logistical hoops that the department would have to go through in order to accomplish that. And so what 238 seeks to do is to, further clarify in black letter law that, weekly recycling collections means what it has always meant, which is weekly recycling collections, notwithstanding a holiday. And that's what I really want to advocate for. Just going back to, here's also an example on Columbus Day. For city holiday, the city, or at least, Queens 8, decided to do regular sanitation pickups. If you're doing regular sanitation pickups, why aren't you just sending the folks out to do the recycling as well? So Not a lot of people put stuff out because it was a holiday, but they had people out there. But, generally, as I indicated, my constituents, many of whom don't have a place to store recyclables for 2 weeks, are looking for weekly recycling pickups, which they believe they were promised way back when, but have never received. And I figured I'd take this opportunity to, elevate the issue through this law and to set in law in a very clear way that weekly recycling pickups means weekly recycling pickups. And just like when you have a holiday, I believe the term of art is chasing, right? So if you have a pickup, the people who get Monday pickups and it's a Monday holiday, 1/3 of the area is going to get picked up the following day on Tuesday, 1/3 of the area is going to get picked up on Wednesday, and the other third goes to the next collection, which is Thursday. Perhaps there's a paradigm for chasing, which I believe is a term of art, for recycling as well. And I would love us to have a handshake right now. I think we should just do it. I think the chair's for that. Calman, I know, is for it. So that's my statement and my question. Hate to have you repeat what you've already done to the people who are here on time, which does not include me. And so if you could go through that again for the late Jim Gennaro, that would be great.
Absolutely.
I'm not dead, I'm just late, okay?
Appreciate that.
Okay. The tardy Jim Gennaro.
And we were just talking about this bill toward the end of the hearing, so it's still fresh in our minds. So for sanitation, both manpower and equipment are limited in quantity. There's not an unlimited amount of those things. And so because of that limitation, we have to choose between refuse and recycling. Which one do we chase following a holiday? We flat out choose refuse. It is the waste stream that attracts vermin and rats. It is the waste stream that creates odors. It is the waste stream that contributes most to cleanliness issues. So the efforts that we have made historically, as well as the efforts over the last 2 holidays to really improve our holiday collection, have been focused on refuse and, in Queens, on organics. If we had unlimited, infinite resources, we would love to chase both, but we cannot. There are cases where we prioritize the recycling over refuse, particularly when there are back-to-back holidays. Christmas and New Year's, for example, always fall 7 days apart, but based on the way the calendar works. So in that case, we will allocate resources on the second holiday to chase the recycling material so that folks don't have to hold it for an extra week. We understand that this is an inconvenience for residents and that it's frustrating, particularly for people that have that sort of Monday holiday issue, because a lot of the holidays do fall on Mondays. But that's, our position is that refuse takes priority.
And I don't disagree with everything that you said. I don't think it would take infinite resources to do that. I think that's a little hyperbole. But, the fact remains that I think this is just, this law just seeks to clarify that, which seems to me was set forth in black letter law in 1989, that weekly collections means weekly collections. And so I am of the impression that this law already exists. It's not a suggestion, it's the law, and laws, even if they are expensive or inconvenient to comply with, still exist. And so, the administration, I think, is free to, offer a program bill or whatever. Just to, I just think we have to be straight here, about what we're doing. And so it's been so long since the first recycling bill was passed into law that mandated weekly weekly recycling pickups. That has never happened, and everyone just kind of like lets it go and said this is just the way it kind of is. It works better for the department. They're not fully complying with the law. Again, my opinion. So I felt the need to do this clarification, and so this is just a sidebar to council here. I would if we can't get this law done, I would like the, existing law examined further, to see if that does or does not mandate weekly pickups, in which case the administration is in a position where they either have to do it or they have to, put forward some amendment to the original law that sort of clarifies their position on why they are not in a position financially or logistically to do this. Because right now, I think we have something that where people are promised weekly collections in law and they don't get it. So hence this clarification law. That's not going to pass muster with the administration. That doesn't mean we don't do it, but we like to do things in a cooperative way. And so if this is a no from the administration, then maybe we go back to maybe we go to Plan B, which is just call for the enforcement of the law that's already on the books, which mandates weekly collections, and then if the administration is not in a position to do that, then they should offer an amendment to the original recycling law as to this is how they want to do it. I don't think there was a lot of latitude from the original law. I think the people who did the original law were not. I was staff in 1989. I didn't come onto the council until the 2000s, but I think the council at the time should have pressed the issue a little further and made sure that they had, weekly recycling. And so I guess we'll have to figure out where we go from here, because my constituents are very frustrated that they have to store recyclables for 2 weeks. It just doesn't work for them. And if there were not a law on the books saying that it had to be picked up, then I would say, okay, I can look into it. I can try to do it. But as far as I'm concerned, this is already done. This is just like a clarification to make sure it's super done. But, so that's my position. I'll take it up with the chair and the council, the chair and other, council members. And I appreciate your, straightforward testimony on what your position is. I get it. I don't disagree with it, but the law's the law. That, as I see it. But thank you. And thank you for waiting. I know I put you out because we're in, we had the hearing and now we're in the hearing postseason now, because I showed up late. We had to reboot and get all the networks on board and all that. So, but thank you very much. Madam Chair, thank you for holding things for me. And Calvin is still there, my wingman. He's still backing me up. So I appreciate him being here as well, listening to the post game. So thank you all very much, and thank you for your indulgence, Madam Chair.
You don't have a response, or you do have a response?
No, thank you for that,
Okay.
Councilmember.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to officially close this out. Thank you.